Hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast, episode 647, second episode of the year. We're talking about having no fucks to give. If you are listening, watching, tuning in on the day that it drops, it is Monday, January 13th. I got a little pep in my step. I got a little bit of life back in me. And I've got a lot of things to catch you up on, so let's hop on in. So my 40th birthday party was last Friday, and folks, if you've been following on Instagram, you saw it was everything. It was literally the best day of my life, the best party of my life, the best birthday of my life. It was the best. My grandma flew in. My mom and my grandma flew in to surprise me. I knew my mom was coming. Didn't really think about grandma coming. Wanted her to come, thought she might, but it was a surprise the way that it happened. Lex crushed it with that. They flew in on Thursday. They left on Monday. It was such a surprise that I had work all day on Thursday, and so I couldn't see them till the end of the day. But it was amazing. Lex and I had actually gone for a walk on Wednesday on my birthday, and I was thinking to myself, man, I really got to get grandma out here. I'd love to have her just experience California. Y'all know that I love it. I love sharing it with people that I love, and so to have her here, it was amazing. And then we took them both this morning to the airport. And she was like, when your mom's coming back, she better let me know because I'm going to save my money and I'm going to come back out. And I was like, yeah, I'll pay for you to come out anytime you want. But it was just great to hear that because, like she's 86. Like how many more years does she have of, just objectively, how many more years does she have of being able to fly all the way out here and really enjoy the time when she's out here? And so it was amazing. Like just... It was every bit as perfect as I hoped it would be, and then some. And my mom came. I knew my mom would love it, so I don't want to downplay that. But I knew my mom would love it. She'll be back and fucking hiking all over the world here. But it was awesome, and I really appreciate my mom, my sister, Lex, Jimmy. That's Cecilia's husband, for making it happen. Like a lot had to happen for my grandma to be able to come here, and my mom really just really shouldering the burden there of grandma's 86. She has a cane. Like it's a lot to get her on the plane and things like that. But she's very mobile. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm very with it. But if you watch, she's the best dancer in the room. Always. Chick is the best fucking dancer. But it was amazing. And speaking of the party, it was fucking epic. Lex made my vision come to life and threw in some of her own touches. And it was perfect, right? We had a DJ. We had a taco truck. We had taco guy. Like, the venue was amazing. We had a photo booth. The alcohol was amazing. The additional food. Like Lex brought in the cookies that we always get, and she pulled the picture from a previous party we went to, a previous 70s party we'd gone to. And so it was just amazing. People flew in. I didn't know they were flying in, right? JPB and Jared flew in. Meg Coppell flew in. Wheels flew in. UC flew in. Danny J didn't fly. She drove, but she flew all the way from Vegas. Like, people came up from San Diego. Like, came from all over. It was... just amazing. At one point, I'm on the dance floor there, and everyone was there from volleyball and just from different parts of my life, at least from my New York days was there. And just people are dancing, but also there's room in the venue for if you don't want to dance and, you want it to be outside, you could do that playing cornhole, or you want to just kind of be in the back area talking and having a drink or taking, doing the photo booth. It was something for everyone. And that to me is what I love the most, right? Like, obviously I want people to dance if they want to dance. I love dancing. That's why I had the party like this, but to have something for everyone and, have that be where they feel happy, it was the fucking best. Like, literally at one point I was just standing in the front and I was like, this is the best day of my life. Right? Like, the dancing, the music was perfect. DeAndre, the DJ, was fucking amazing. Kevin broke his shoe dancing. We had 2 line dances. It was amazing. And on top of that, it was just a reminder of how good of a team Lex and I are. For as long as we've worked together, it's been I have a vision for things, and then she'll work out the logistics of it and make it happen. And so, I found the venue and she did all the coordinating with it. I was like, okay, let's have this kind of food. And she made all of that happen. We had the photo booth person from Camille's party. She made that happen. I'll show you the extra food, snacks and stuff. She made that happen. The DJ is DeAndre. She decided to book him, and I loved it. It was amazing. So I was like, I want fucking good music. And she was like, all right, I'm going to do a DJ. And DeAndre is actually one of the volleyball girls. That's her yoga teacher. He's a big black man. He's a yoga teacher. I was like, I love it. The music was so fucking good. It was a reminder of, I felt so loved, obviously by Lex, but just by everyone. Just everyone there. And it's a reminder of I'm with the person who I'm such a great team with. And it was just fucking perfect. And people were just coming up to me and being like, thank you for having this party. Thank you for bringing all these people together. Just thank you for making people feel included. I was getting thank yous. It was just amazing. and it was the best. Right? It was the best. You can actually see one of the gifts that Lex got. Not a gift. It was, so there's a volleyball back there if you're watching on YouTube. And Lex had, you know, like you have like a table with like the pictures of someone, and she had a record on there, and it was like, it was like an empty record, and that's volleyball. And the volleyball has like a little like custom thing on it. It says Happy 40th Maestro, and everyone from volleyball signed, everyone, not just from volleyball, everybody signed it. It was just, she did an amazing job. It was the best. But she also, as for my birthday, which I was like, don't give me anything. But she got people to like share birthday wishes, and like, it was like a video, like you could do it via video, or you could like send like a text message kind of thing. And so we watched that on Wednesday. And one of the people who was on that was Dr. J-Pop. And part of the message that she shared was basically, welcome to your 40s where you just have welcome to your 40s where you just have way less fucks to give, which is great because you already didn't give a fuck. And I was like, this chick knows me, right? We know Dr. J-Pop knows me. Side note, how fucking good is our new intro? Yeah, go listen if you haven't already. But I hopped into my stories earlier today to talk about that, and that is talk about, you know, this less fucks to give. And then I was like, fuck it. Let's make it today's topic for the podcast episode. So yeah, we're not actually really talking, or I'm not really actually talking about having no fucks to give or less fucks to give or giving no fucks. What I actually want to talk about is not waiting to be happy. So the connection here is that it's pretty widely stated, as evidenced by Dr. J-Pop's message, that once you hit your 40s, you basically stop giving a fuck, or you have less fucks to give, and you care less about what other people think, and you just live your life. I can 100% understand why this is the case, especially for those folks that are socialized, you know, raised female. But here's the thing, and here's why I want to flip the script a little bit. And it's also evidenced by Dr. J-Pop's message, which is that I already didn't give a fuck. Right? The spoiler here is that you don't have to wait to not give a fuck. The big message here is that you don't have to wait to be happy. Yes, there's absolutely something to be said about easy is earned and seasons of life, and you reap what you sow, right? And you using younger years to grind and lay the foundation. Absolutely. But you don't have to be miserable during those younger years, right? You can take advice from older people, from other people, and apply it right now. You can take feelings from other seasons of life and of the year and apply them now, right? You don't have to wait. As cliche as it may be, or it may sound, whatever, I read that book, Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek. I read it like a zillion years ago. I don't even have it on my shelves anymore. There's shelves here. You can see there's shelves on that side. I got like a zillion books. And I actually did read it. But I don't even have it because I gave it away to a friend because I was like, this is impactful for me, and it's also served its purpose, right? And what I took away from the book was that you don't have to wait to be happy, right? If memory serves, again, it was a really long time when I read this, but this was before I moved to California. It's part of the reason I moved to California. But he harps on the fact that the U.S. has this idea and this message that's put out that you work and you're miserable so that one day you can retire and be happy. Right, when you retire at age 65. And mind you, the like average American lives to be like 74 years old. So that math ain't mathing well at all. That's fucking terrible. Right? And in the book, he's like, you don't have to wait. You can do this stuff now. And that really planted a seed for me of like, you don't have to wait to do things. Yes, we kind of have these arbitrary time periods and ages put on things. And I'm thinking about Dr. J-Pop, actually, because I brought her up. When I was working for Rock Tape, Dr. J-Pop's like a few years older than me, maybe 1, 2, I don't know, a little bit older. But I was working at Rock Tape first, brought her in, and she had some like hesitation and reservations about teaching. And I was like, bitch, you've been, a PT for a zillion years. What are you waiting for? Like to turn a certain age so that you're like, society thinks it's okay, or so people, I don't know. I like, what are you waiting for? You don't have to wait to do things. The best analogy or example that comes to mind here is how, you see with youngest siblings, like the baby of the family, they often do things sooner than their older siblings. All right, they walk, they talk sooner because of the older siblings. So they see this thing and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. You don't have to fucking wait. Right? We live in a time where advice is, from everyone is readily available, right? It's always been available, but now it's, again, readily available. It's like literally just so easy to access now. So feel free to take it. irrespective of what age you are, right? And see how you can make it work with your life. Of note, feel free to check out last Monday's episode. That was 646. Whose advice are you taking? And in that episode, I offer up some advice, a few tips for discernment regarding whose advice to take. But those are my thoughts. It really hit me today when I was on a walk that, like, yes, these things hold true, or these things are true, but also they could be true earlier. It's all made up, folks, right? It's all made up. And I don't say it in a bad way. I say that in a way that hopefully is like exciting. And it's like, oh yeah, literally everything is made up. Yes, we have agreed on certain things and social norms or whatever, but it's all made up. And so you don't have to wait. And the biggest things, you don't have to wait to be happy. So if you're listening to this, one of the coolest parts about what I get to do as a creator, content creator, and just how I am in life is that I do get to run my mouth and share my thoughts, and I like doing that. And that means that ideally and hopefully I can help other people out and help them get to where they want to get faster than, it took me. And I look at Lex, like, yes, there's an 8-year age difference here, which to me, I'm just like, great, do things earlier than I did. It's fucking awesome. Like, I will die on the hill that the whole, like, I suffered, so you have to suffer. That ain't it, right? The whole people being mad because they pay off their student loans and like, but I had to pay mine off. And it's like, that's great. Now, why wouldn't you want that kind of freedom for other people? Like, I was talking to J-Pop the other day, and she said, the entire world is your neighbor. And when you realize that, you're just like, okay. Right? Maybe you don't like your neighbor. So you're like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But if you really sit with it, you're like, okay. And when that person benefits, I benefit. And when things are good for that person, then they're better for me. So it's not this zero-sum game. And that is definitely how I look at it when I share these things and dispense this advice into the ether for whoever is willing, wanting to grab onto it, or whoever it happens to, drop into their head. You don't have to wait to be happy. And if you can take this and you're 20 years old and lean into that, fucking amazing. Will you probably get pushback if you're at an age where other people aren't doing it and they didn't do it at that age? Probably, but who fucking cares? Right? Like, we get one life. Live it. And remember that you don't have to wait to be happy. All right. That is all I got for the informational side of stuff today. Nice little quick episode. Do not forget that we are hosting our first ever, what are we going to call it? Mafia open house, aka come hang out at a family dinner. It'll be on Wednesday, January 29th. It's the last Wednesday of the month of January at 4 p.m. Pacific. It is 100% free. There is no obligation to join the Mafia, but if you've been thinking about it, wondering about it, you want us to come hang out and see if there's other dope people out there that, you jive with. I'm going to use that word because we're still in 70s mode. Come check it out. The link to save your spot is in the show notes, or you can head to www.themovementmaestro.com/mafia-dinner-reservation. I'll take you to the page, put your info in there, and then we'll get you all the important information. But would love to have you. It's free. What do you got to lose? Okay. That is all I got for you. As always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. And don't forget, there's no more Thursday episodes. Okay. Until next time, friends, which will be Wednesday. Wow. Which will be Monday. Maestro out.